Hey, for the past weeks, or it's probably been months already, um, I've been kind of on the fence about tarot and divination and spirituality and everything. I've been on this journey for a pretty long time, and chances are, if you're attracting me into your energy, that we're kind of on the same wavelength, and maybe you weren't even sure you were questioning it beforehand, but you noticed you weren't really touching your tarot cards or kind of like took all of your jewelry with like crystals and stuff off and just kind of take a break from it, just kind of see how it feels. Um, and I feel like many of you could have the same experience as me with the fact that a lot of people from the outside were talking a lot of the conditionings and the fears and so on that they themselves have like pretty much made a part of themselves, which initially obviously wasn't a part of themselves. But obviously, fear is a part of us in a way, but this kind of fear is a dysfunctional kind of fear. Um, Something that's just so that really like the last few days has been really prominent for me is like how much we underestimate the dangers of fight or flight, like the sympatheticus system, so to speak, or sorry if I pronounced that wrong. I know it in German, sympathicus, but there's the parasympathetic. No, I got it, and the sympathetic. And so the parasympathetic is the rest and digest. So it's kind of like your relaxation energy, pretty much. Doesn't have to be energy, but it's just in general your body's in the relaxing mode, like in a relaxing phase, and your heart slows down, or your heart rate slows down, better said. Your breathing slows down. Your blood vessels can kind of just relax a bit, and they don't have to like be pumping a whole bunch of energy to your muscles to be used. And when we're in fight or flight, which can happen really really easily by just looking at a headline on the news, not even on purpose. You don't even have to have your notifications on, and you swipe accidentally left. And I know a lot of phones do that the notifications just pop up, and you see that shit, and maybe you don't consciously take it in as if it's a fear, but how much fear has been a base of manipulation, how much fear has been actually utilized so that our prefrontal cortex in the fronts of our brain completely shut off. As soon as fight or flight sets in, your ability to think clearly, which is what the prefrontal cortex does, shuts off. And it's your body's going to survival mode, and it's pretty much just going into emergency mode. And when you're in emergency mode, your brain doesn't need to think, it just needs to survive. And that's where the amygdala comes in and really gets activated. And when that overrides everything else, then I'm not like a neurologist specialist or anything like that, but I have my nursing degree, and I was at the hospital and everything, working there as an intensive care nurse, and I have some experience, but I'm not qualified to teach these kinds of things. But we've heard these terms, and I think it's also like important to make sure we can also like primarily follow our heart, but combine that with logic together. Like if we can take our spirituality and make it logical to us, and not in a way where you're just like lying to yourself, but in a way where you can come up with genuine answers stemming from truth and not from what someone told you, not from some fucking video, not from anything anyone says, including me, but what stemmed from your own truth. And I think it's pretty much our life's path to get to the bottom of that. And circling back to the whole questioning divination and everything, like I had so many people, and I think it was confronting me because it was something I feared. I grew up in a like not really Christian, like we were evangelisch. I don't know how to say that in English, but Protestants. Yeah, sorry, I've been living in Germany the past 10 years, so my English isn't the yellow from the egg, if you get that joke. Fist bump. But, Oh man, I have like this German accent in my head now. Sorry, I need to focus. By the way, I had a 12-hour night shift before this, so excuse my my eye rolls. Um, yeah, but circling back to shit, I lost my train of thought. I need a sip of water anyway, and it'll come back if you could just stay with me for just a moment. Thanks for sitting here still with me. She's gone. She's so gone. But I'm sure something. Oh yeah, see, we got him. We got him again. By the way, if you couldn't tell already, I just show up as me. If you don't like it, you can leave. It's not that big of a deal. If you feel the absolute need to leave a nasty comment, go ahead. But that aside, I know the people who actually appreciate authenticity and who aren't afraid of it, because a lot of people fear authenticity, confronts a lot of ego. Yeah, and so welcome to the space, and yeah, sorry to focus on the negative there, but funny enough, my very first comment on YouTube was a really negative one. And then you just kind of think like, why the fuck are people like this? Like, you can see that I have like literally like 7 views and you're the first commenter and you gotta thrash a person down. Like, how fucking sad is that? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, that's the message pretty much. Like, take it, take a zoom back, zoom out, look at it from like a bird's eye perspective, and see how fucking hilarious it is. And at the same time, how kind of sad it is. I kind of feel bad. Because, like, how poor, how fucking broke on the inside you have to be to knock someone down for trying something. How fucking poor do you have to be? And it really does make me feel sorry for them a little bit. Yeah, but anyways, that came up for a reason because I feel like society even not only hates to go out of their own comfort zone, but hate to see others going out of their own comfort zone, because that again puts them out of their own comfort zone because they're seeing, oh, someone's actually challenging themselves, and that threatens their ego, their well, what am I doing then, you know? And it comes out in a really nasty way. And fear can be used, we're circling back to my point that I forgot. It's like, oh Lord. Okay. But fear is literally the weapon of psychological manipulation. And I don't even want to get into this whole deep route. Like, we're not going there. Don't worry. Don't click out yet. I'm still grounded. Like, I see the truth. Like, I'm not blind anymore, you know. But I also recognize that not everything is black and white, you know. But our absolute safety weapon, our armor in the future, is the regulation of our nervous system. I cannot stress this enough. Our primary armor and means of attack, so to speak, or of not even attack, it's not letting anything in. When our nervous system is calm, we can choose to have an energetic barrier that filters through what allows to pass. And when we're in a state of fight or flight, when our thinking part of the brain, our prefrontal cortex, is turned off, then we make decisions that are kind of irrational. And then afterwards, we beat ourselves up about it, get into the shame and guilt spiral and all that, and we go, what was I thinking? Why did I do that? When we act out a reaction instead of, like, or reacting instead of responding, better said, when when we stop doing something just because we're afraid of what will happen when we keep going. And there's so many examples of that, but those two needed to come out. But our calm is our defense mechanism. That's the word I was looking for. That's our defense mechanism. It's like our energetic shield. Nothing that we don't permit crosses through that fucking barrier. And you know exactly what I'm talking about. Nothing. And you still see it, okay? Maybe you have an emotion that comes with it, but you go, that ain't coming here. That's staying over there. And we still feel our own emotions that belong to us, but we leave what doesn't belong to us right out there. And this is what you have mastered within the last few months. It's really been like a years-long journey, but it's been crystallized within the last few months. And I'm so fucking proud of you. Dude, do you even know what that fucking means, man? Like, that is freedom. That is fucking freedom. When you are calm, when you know how to keep your cool, freedom, baby. Those motherfuckers can trap you all they want. You have freedom whenever you look inside. And I can promise you the majority of people don't have that. I don't need to tell you that. Look around. Like, there are those beautiful, beautiful few souls that we see and where we recognize them. We go, oh, light. Oh my God. Like, it's not only dark. And when we choose to focus on that more, on that light more, especially in a calm and peaceful state, you damn fucking bet more of that shit is gonna be coming your way. You damn fucking bet. Yeah. And then another double circle back. We're doing like loop-de-loos here. This is my after night shift energy, so yeah, I'm sorry and thank you. But damn it. Yes. Thank you, Spirit. Tarot cards. I've been on the fence about them, I'm gonna be honest. And I just had this kind of like little eureka moment, which I've had multiple times, but this time it's just like kind of stuck. I don't know. Maybe I'll say that again in a week. I don't know. It's an over-exaggeration, but I find I don't like to tap into the future. I think tapping into the future with tarot cards can be really fucking dangerous. Our minds are so powerful. When you tell someone something is going to be true, of course that's going to come true because then they believe it. If they're really invested in that, then that will manifest. And then they will place their trust into that thing that told them what to manifest, pretty much. And it happens at a subconscious level. And neither parties are doing anything malignant. They're not meaning any harm. They both think they're doing good. See what I mean? And these are very, very careful traps that we need. Not traps, that's a harsh word, but there's dysfunctions of the spiritual community, and I don't need to tell you this. And I think it's really important we don't ignore them, and that we can really confront them. And because if we can't confront them, then maybe it isn't the right one, you know. You know, because I find if you're not afraid of the truth, then regardless of what, no question would attack your ego, because your goal is to solely find your own inner truth. You see what I mean? And so your path could go from Christianism to spirituality to Muslim to whoever, but the entire time you're following your truth, and so that's what makes it right. And so then you don't attach those concepts to specific dogmas or religions. It's really quite interesting, actually. I fucking love this topic. And this is probably going to be a long video. But those of you who are still here, thank you so, so much. I'm actually I'm actually really feeling the vibe, you know? I feel your energy, and I know you're vibing with me, so thank you. And on that note, I decided to pull some cards, but not for the future. I think we've been going the wrong way with tarot cards. We've been going like this: past, future. Do you know anything in the fucking world that's that simple? Anything? Literally, this entire planet is the most complex, unnameable thing that we still haven't fully discovered. And I think we need to really remember that. And that we're continuously evolving in fucking massive waves, bro. Like, oh my god, okay, I'm getting so many like little weasel ways out, but I actually am feeling guided to call them. Or like to like call them, interesting, to follow them. Call them. Yeah, I guess you're calling them in, okay. Because it did happen in the past. Interesting. Well, there. Okay, yeah. I'm getting ahead of myself. Anyway, um, when I was in night shift, I was reading this book, and they used the word. It's a German book, Hexe von Freiburg. I don't know, from Astrid Fritz. And I just started it, and it was a recommendation because I currently live in Freiburg, not anymore for long, but I'm still currently living there. And they use the word Zigeunerin. It's a German word. Without knowing the meaning of the word and just following the societal patterns of how the word is used and in which context and so on. I often like found that German people would use it for people that came out of like places like Romania or from any pretty much like East European country. And I always felt like the stigma of the word. Like whenever the word was said, I was always like, like I don't know, it didn't sit right. Like, and they just like whipped it out like it was nothing. And within following that thread, I actually found out something super interesting. And maybe I was fucking living under a rock, and very historically ignorant. There's definitely truth to that, but I'm really working on it, and I'm actually really finding like a big passion and joy for history for the first time in my life, honestly, because I have the spiritual depth and wisdom to be able to feel also what these stories are portraying and everything, and to live literally in the history. Like I'm in a house that was built in the 1880s, and this is the oldest house. Oh, there's so many things coming. This is gonna be a long video. Either you're with me or you're not. I'm sorry. But this house was okay. So Freiburg, a little history lesson now, but it's actually really, really fucking interesting. Stay with me. In the 1700s, France pretty much took over Freiburg. They just raided them, and they said they were gonna build better walls and all that, and did all that shit. And in the end, all the surrounding area, besides like the main center, so to speak, they completely demolished it, completely made it flat, so that any intruding invaders could be directly abolished. And so, where I'm sitting right now was once a slot field. Literally, as we like where I'm sitting right now under this field, there were once thousands of men. I don't even know, actually. I don't even know how many. Don't clock me on that. But like dead, man. Like it's creepy. Like okay, moving on. It's kind of freaking me out. And so in the 1880s and 90s, in the 1880s, they started selling the first properties here. In the 1890s, people who worked in the tram station and like had like these little jobs and everything, they started building these houses here. And the road that I'm on, this is the oldest building pretty much of this area, and it's I think 140 years old. I read this a few days ago. Please don't clock me on the exact. But things where I really confidently said like with that I'm sure, but the things where I'm like don't clock me on those. But yeah, and I find that really interesting. And then going back to the Tsugoina thing, um, turns out there's the group of people from Romas and Sintis, as we know, and they came from a northwest group out of India. And they came over, and it was just a small group. Or they're not really sure, but it is a really, really small group of roughly around 1,000 to 1,500 people and everything. And they spread out throughout the world. And so, depending on where they spread out to and what they did, they were called different things. And so, there was the Romans and the Sintis, and then there was Kale, and forgot the last one, but the last one was actually based on pretty much not on specific countries, but globally. Like they would be kind of like a goldsmith, or they would build kessels and all that, and they were Kalavadesh. Oh, don't clock me on that one, but Kalavadesh, something like that. Lavara, Lavara, yeah, Lavara. Yes, yes, the Lavara, yeah, and yeah. Thank God I remember, dude. I bet I had like 12-hour, 3 12-hour night shifts. This is me in like 2 1 1 1 2 on the clock. But this is me in like sleep deprivation, so I'm excited Spirit's helping me with my brain a little bit. Um, yeah, and I found that incredibly interesting because here the word is so stigmatized. Oh my God, and it's kind of driving me nuts how, like, when looking back, how disrespectfully it was used. Like, as if it was piece of fucking dirt on the ground. I want to fucking slap those people now. Like, ugh, I hate it. Do you fucking feel that much like anger in you when you like feel someone is wrongly being disrespected? Oh, Mama wants to step in there. She needs to hold this away. Okay, yeah. Enough history lessons though. But remember with the Zigeunerin, no Romas or Sintis ever thought of the name Zigeuner. These were people that came out of northwest India and into, well, the Romas, if I'm not mistaken, the Romas were in close to the Baltic countries, yeah, Eastern Europe and so on. And the Sintis, they were in France, also known as something named with an M, Marsalou, if I'm not mistaken. And also Spain and Portugal. Sorry, this is a little bit. Point is, they're all over the place, but it is a small group, you know. And they brought in the culture, they brought in the music, the dance, and the strict Europeans that just survived the War II. They didn't really know how to deal with that, in my opinion. And so automatically, anything that was different was like, ugh, that's bad, you know. And so they literally called them Tsugoynos, which is the definition. Like if you look at the definition of what it is, it's pretty much calling them criminals, a bunch of dirty criminals. And so these people came and they fled a situation that was not ideal. What exactly it was that made them fled is not really 100% clear to the, like there's not enough evidence for that, but they have some theories. And so really just like a really rejected folk just because they looked a little different maybe. And interesting enough, nowadays you don't even see that they could have come from an Indian descent. Not all of them, at least, you know, but like many of them you can't even tell them apart from just through evolution. And that's how I came onto the topic. Evolution and history are really intertwined, just coming to realize. But it's almost like, yeah, I fucking love this shit. Okay, it's enough of that I'm hearing. Sorry. Okay, whew. I'm sorry if your brain is fuming. I got a lot of information in 24 minutes. All right. I'm not going to go overboard with the cards. I'm just going to pull some out, and I'm feeling like 2 or 3, not more. Yeah. Present moment. We're focusing on the present moment. And we're diving deep into the subconscious instead of stepping out of the present moment. Because yes, we can be in the present moment and look ahead, but when we are reading in the future, we are in the future. And when we are reading the past, we are in the past. And sometimes it's really hard to tell apart. And sometimes you can get those confused. Even very skilled readers, I'm sure. And discernment, discernment, discernment. We're diving into our subconscious. I'm not going to tell you the love of your life is going to show up tomorrow. I'm not going to tell you you're going to have your dream job. I'm not going to tell you you're going to have $5 million tomorrow when you wake up. Because that's fucking bullshit that I'm going to tell you that. You're going to get those things if you feel it. If you feel it, you'll pull it in. But what am I going to, if I just give you these empty words and you don't feel it, what's that going to bring? You know, and some people really do have a power of manifestation, and that's why if you know you're powerful, be very careful what you watch. Very careful. I am. Spirit's taking a serious note here. I'm actually... Okay, I have my Scorpio moon. I have my serious side, but I'm a Saggy, so... Ooh, just as I said that, Ace of Wands. And we have here 4 cups. 9 of Wands. On the split, like it just naturally went that way. What did I fucking say? 2 or 3 cards. Yeah, these are the cards, okay. Sorry, I got a little excited there. Let me just sit on this for a sec. There's a lot of passion here. Whew. Whew. Holy shit, dude. Who are you? Like, no joke. I feel like this hand is like this. What? Like, the way this hand is glowing. That's how I feel when I tap into this energy. And it feels just as bright as just went up here. No, but it feels really fucking bright. And I fucking kid you not. I'm the most brutally honest. I'm fucking German and Canadian. Like, trust me, then I've been living here for the past, like, almost 10 years. Like I said, the Canadian niceness has left. This is your girl. I will tell you the truth and the cold hard truth when you need it, if you haven't noticed. This is fucking unreal. You said no to something. One card spoken out here. Strength. Fuck yeah. Okay. Oh, literal goosebumps, man. I had down my legs. I love this energy. This energy might be too much for some of you. Click out. Don't ruin the vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Bitch, don't kill my vibe. Just leave. I know my OGs will find me. 4 cups. You left something, and bruh, the strength you got out of that. You tamed the tiger. Whatever that means to you. It could be an inner part of yourself. It could be something external to you. It could be both. Most likely it's both. You conquered it, and you didn't just conquer a little task. You conquered it like eternally. Like, your base is strength. That's your baseline. And you know you'll always get back to it. You can step out of that energy to maybe explore other energies as well. But your baseline will be strength, among very many other things. But what I'm getting right now is what, like, kind of came into the mix after you rejected something. This was the gift. Eternal strength. No one can take this away from you. Absolutely no one. Let me say that again. No one can take this away from you. Absolutely no one. And no thing. Whew, very strict energy here. Hide and I. Ooh! Ooh! Scorpio just went into the moon a few days ago. Okay, well, not into the moon. I know astrology. No, I don't. I'm really new to astrology, but I know that Scorpio moon, something with that. And I have my Scorpio in my moon, like I said. I know that was wrong what I just said. Forgive me. I'm not gonna try to guess what's right. Sorry, not sorry. And I'm shedding. There's something you need to, like, shed energetically. Some kind of life force that's been draining you. It's like this little seed or this little, like, seed that's. I'm almost seeing, like, this seed and, like, ugh, it's kind of gross. It's, like, in between, like, the layers of the muscles. Like, it's, like, embedded. You know what I mean? And that seed is not evil, but it's not good either. It's kind of stagnation. And experiment with your body a little bit and feel around. I know it sounds weird, but like even just like listen to your gut and like allow your gut to like lead you to the place. In the beginning you're going to feel like you're an idiot, but I promise you it'll lead you somewhere. And just give that seed, you'll feel it, you'll know what I mean. I'm positive. Feel it and give it the fucking attention it deserves. Because that's an energy store trying to protect you. And you need to now attend to it. You don't need to do shit, by the way. If you want to. You can attend to it 3113. You can attend to it if you wish, and you'll find yourself being able to not only move that part of your body freer, but energetically as well. And I fucking swear there's a connection with fat cells and energy. When I have like I used to have like really, I was like never like crazy self-conscious about it, to be honest, but I had like a little fat in my arms, like you know, and I literally like started massaging and I noticed everything is just all tense here, you know, or it was at least, you know, and it still is. I'm still working on it. It's an ongoing process, and as soon as I like released some of these like energy stores, like I swear the fat stores went down only in those areas. And I was told pretty much my whole childhood and life that you can't spot target fat cells, but I fucking experienced it. Like the parts that I've worked on, when I feel them, I don't recognize my body because that's how transformed it is. And I'm not doing any exercise right now. It's literally just a moment of rest and malleating everything back into place before I build, continue to build the strength, you know? Because the strength is there. I know the strength is there, but it's now pushing everything into alignment so that when you utilize your strength, whew, then you could utilize it at full power. But you see, when you're in misalignment, if something's off in your body as well as metaphorically in your life, if something is off, you can have as much strength as you want, but you will only be able to have a certain percentage of that and not its full power. And watch self-sabotage there, that you're not holding back your own power and own potential, because that's something I overlooked a lot. And then eventually when I realized it, I started crying because I was scared of my own power. And now I just fucking laugh about it. Nine of Swords, I was going to say. You have fucking been fighting your ass off to keep your boundaries up, and for good reason, and you know it. And other people might judgment, yeah, and spirit saw, no matter what their story was or what their viewpoint was, in whatever case, you know what was in your heart, you know what you did, and you know you stayed true to yourself. Spirit knows that too, and that's the most important thing. Everything else can just fall away. And I'm right there with you. Isn't it fucking exhausting to constantly have to put up boundaries? Like, fucking leave me alone, people, right? Like, if you're still here, you know the energy, man. Like, yeah, hermit, man. Leave me the fuck alone. I'm actually really, I used to be, yeah. I have moments where I can be really sociable. I'm a nurse, you know? Like, I love being social. But right now, the energy is, leave me the fuck alone. And not in a malicious way, even though it comes across that way, because that boundary needs to be placed, man. because people are not used to it from you. And then they'd trickle on over and they think, oh yeah, I can dance here and dance here. And they're constantly crossing over your line. You're like, bruh, I told you the line was here. And they just ignore it. And so you go, okay, rip off the tape. I'll take my line somewhere else. And maybe when you've grown a little bit, when you've learned to mature a little bit, who knows what happens, you know? But I'm taking my line somewhere else, you know? Because the amount of energy it takes for you to not invade my space is an absolute no-go to my energy. You know what I mean? That's like the energy, you know? Like, why keep a person there that's constantly trying to cross your boundaries on purpose to get some kind of reaction or some kind of oomph because they're so empty on the inside that they need to search for it all over the place on the outside. And not once can they think to look on the inside. That was very extreme. I'm sorry, there was a little projection in there. But not always, obviously, sometimes, but there's some empty people out there. Let's be honest, let's be real. And they suck. Like they suck, like they suck, and they fucking suck. You know, like they suck ass. I'm sorry. I'm the first person to look at a person in a positive light, and I will give so many people second chances. But bruh, across the second chance, I'm like, nah. Now my Scorpio moon's coming out. You know what I mean? Like, and it's good that way. Don't be afraid of your feisty side. How often I suppressed my feisty side, my anger, it's what makes me. Like passion, man. And if you're connecting to my energy, you're feeling the same way. Like you know, like you have this within you as well. Otherwise, you wouldn't be here. Or you have the absolute contrast that could also be. And it's kind of like water to fire. You know, it's kind of something to make it come into balance. So I don't know. I mean, that just came through. 2 of Cups at the bottom. This is you coming into union with your fucking self, man. Masculine, feminine together, and it took a little bit of the boundary, that icky energy of like, oh, I'm fucking tired of putting up my boundaries, you know? That was a masculine energy. That was you stepping into your masculine energy because that was action. That was something you often had to do and actively strive against so that would be placed, and that's a typical masculine energy. And Judgment at the bottom of that. That was one from before. But yeah, the message is dying down now. Thank you for 40 minutes almost. But thank you for being with me here still. And yeah, that was the message. Balance. It's all about balance. And you got it. Like, you got it. You have your eternal strength. Not just any strength, eternal. That's the first time this is coming through that strongly. You have your 4 of Cups. See that what you walked away from? Yeah. Behind the Hermit, there's the 3 of Cups. This will lead you to your tribe. This is the closing of it. Yeah. Because that's ultimately what you want. You want to finally have fucking people around you that don't look at you like you're fucking nuts when you speak, you know? Who can actually understand depth, who can maybe get out of the minds of the typical ways of life and maybe expand their horizons a little bit. People who think outside the box and know they're not going to be the same as you. And how fucking beautiful is that? There's going to be some contrasting stuff, and that's just going to bring you even closer to your truth. And the people that you are attracting, these are people that you're not going to have that and that disgusting drama that I know we're all steering away from now, because it's just so exhausting. Let's be real, you know? It's going to be genuine curiosity on both sides, and it's going to be like, ooh, I've never heard of your side. Tell me about your side. And then you know, like, I don't know if you've ever experienced this, but I experienced it with one man in particular, where like this older man, he was like this work colleague, and then on the way home, we were on the same way, and we were just coming to talking and everything, and I lost my train of thought. Shit. think the message needs to end. Yeah, okay, yeah, I was gonna go in one of my. Ooh! Nine of Cups. Ooh! Ooh! Like I have the Three of Cups and the Nine of Cups, and in the middle here the Ace of Wands, and the Two of Cups now to the side, more exposed. I unconsciously picked this pile up and exposed Two of Wands. Two of Cups. Excuse my brain. Yeah, through this unity, you find all your wishes like pretty much come true, but not the wishes that were never meant for you in the first place. That's why, for a very long time, it felt like none of your wishes were coming true. You were being prepared for the wishes you could keep. And that's very important, because that's bringing you to your soul family. I'll see you there.